Hello and welcome to my channel, Crochet and Copy. My name is Judy. Today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely market bag. Let's get started. To get started on our project, I just wanted to show you the bag measurement. From the top to the bottom, let's say about 13 inches, and that's without the handles. And across, if we go across, I want to say it's about 12. So just want to make sure you know the measurement of the bag. So now I'm going to show you the supplies or the materials we need to make our bag. So these are the supplies we're going to be using to make our bag. The yarn that I use is the 100% cotton. It's 180 yards. It's the 4 medium. The color is named 52 Forest. It's the, I love this cotton. I got it at Hobby Lobby. There's many different colors you can choose from. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using 2 of them to complete our bag. So the next we have our hook size. First one is the US H8. It's the 5 mm. And the next one we're going to be using is the US J10. The 6 mm. We're going to be using our yarn needle, stitch marker, and lastly our scissors. So these are the supplies we're going to be using to make our bag. So let's get started. So for us to get started, we're going to be working with our hook size is the US J10 is the 6 mm. And we're going to start off by making an adjustable ring. This is the way I learned how to do my adjustable ring. Please feel free to do it the method you prefer. I take the yarn, I drip it over my 2 fingers, I let it fall to the back, I take my hook and I pull up a loop of yarn. There you go. So you have a circle, a tail, and a loop of yarn in your hook. We're going to do 1 chain to keep the adjustable ring in place. So the chain is just yarn over and pull through that loop that we had. And that's, remember, it's not a stitch, it's just to hold the adjustable ring in place. We're going to put 6 single crochet into our adjustable ring. So go into our adjustable ring, yarn over, pull up, and then yarn over, pull through those 2 loops of yarn. That's your first single crochet. Since we're working in a spiral, we're going to put our stitch marker in our first stitch, and this will help us know where we start on row. You could adjust the tail a little bit of the adjustable ring, so you could work with it, but don't pull it all the way through. So then I'll show you another one. Back down into your adjustable ring, yarn over, pull up. Remember, you have 2 loops of yarn on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 of them. So that's your next single crochet. I'll show you one more time how to do one more. That back down into your adjustable ring, yarn over, pull up, then yarn over and pull through your 2. So we have 3 so far. So put another 3 in your adjustable ring and I'll meet you there. So now we put 6 of our single crochet into our adjustable ring. Now what we're going to do is we're going to close it up by pulling the tail tight. And there you go, you've closed up your adjustable ring. So now for round 2, we're going to take out our stitch marker. And for round 2, in each stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet. So yarn over, pull up. So you have 2 strands of yarn on your hook. Then yarn over again to complete it. And there you go, you have your first single crochet in your first stitch for round 2. So back down into that same stitch, we're going to put another single crochet. So yarn over, pull up, 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through. So that's 2. Next stitch, we're going to do the same thing. Yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through. Back down into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through. So the pattern, remember, is in each stitch around, you're going to put 2 single crochet, and at the finish of round 2, you're going to have your 12 stitches. So keep on working and I'll meet you there. So now for the completion of round 2, you have your 12 stitches. We're going to take out our stitch marker. I'd like to hide the tail of my work so I don't see it when my bag is finished. So what I'll do is, I'll show you. We go into that first stitch, we take our stitch marker, and I take the yarn and I just put it over, like in front of my hook, before I pull up another loop. There you go. That's how I start to hide it. And then yarn over and pull up. And remember to put your stitch marker back in. So for round 3, the pattern that we're going to follow is 1 single crochet into that stitch, the first one, and then the second stitch we're going to put 2 single crochet. So 1, back down into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up, 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over, pull through to complete it. Again, you don't have to hide the tail as I do. It's all up to you. So now we did 2 into that 1 stitch. So now we're going to do one more set with you so you can see the pattern. So this one you will get stitch, we'll have 1 single crochet. The next stitch we'll do 2 single crochet. So remember the pattern is 1 single crochet, next stitch will be 2, and you will do that for the completion of round 3, and then at the completion of round 3 you're going to have your 18 stitches. So in that stitch we put another, again, so single crochet. So keep on working around till you get back to your stitch marker, and I'll meet you there. So for the completion of round 3 you have your 18 stitches. So now for round 4, take out your stitch marker. In that first stitch we're going to put 1 single crochet. Put your stitch marker back in. In the next stitch we're going to put 1 single crochet. The following we put 2 single crochet. 1, back down into that same stitch, 2. So that's the pattern. The first 2 you put 1 single crochet, and the next you put 2. So I do another set with you so you can see. So 1 single crochet, next will be 1 single crochet, and the next stitch 2 single crochet. So back down into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up, and that's the pattern. So at the end of round 4 you're going to have your 24 stitches. So keep on working, I'll meet you there. So in completion of round 4 you have your 24 stitches. Take out your stitch marker, start round 5, put 1 single crochet into that first stitch, put your stitch marker back in, and the next 2 we're going to put 1 single crochet. There you go, that's 2. So that's the pattern is you're going to put 3, just 1 single crochet, and then the next one you'll put 2 single crochets. So let's do it. Here we have 2, back down into that same stitch, and now I should do one more set with you so you can see. So we need 3, just 1 single crochet. 1, 2, and 3, and the next one we put 2 single crochet. So that's 1, then back down, and that's 2. And remember at the completion of round 5 you're going to have your 30 stitches. So keep on working around, and I'll meet you at the stitch marker. For the completion of round 5 you have your 30 stitches. So now round 6, take out your stitch marker, and we're going to put 1 single crochet into that first stitch, put your stitch marker back in. The pattern now for round 6 is the first 4 stitches we're going to put 1 single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the next one we put 2 single crochet. 1, back down into that same stitch, and 2. I'll do one more set with you. So we need 4, single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the next will be the double. 1, back down into that stitch, and you get 2. So remember, at the end of round 6 you're going to have 36 stitches. So keep on working around till you get back to your stitch marker, and I'll meet you there. So for the completion of round 6, you have your 36 stitches. Take out your stitch marker, start round 7, put 1 single crochet into that stitch. And the pattern for round 7 is we're going to put 5 in 5 stitches. We're going to put 1 single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then the next stitch we'll put 2. It's 1 single crochet and back down into that same stitch, 2. So the pattern is you're going to put 5 in the 5 stitch, you put 1 single crochet, and the next you put 2. So that's the pattern for round 7. Keep on working at that pattern, and at the end of round 7 you need to have your 42 stitches. I'll meet you there. So for the completion of round 7 you have your 42 stitches. Now we start round 8. Take out your stitch marker. You're going to put 1 single crochet into that first stitch. Put your stitch marker back in. And now for round 8 we're going to put 1 single crochet in the first 6 stitches. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the next stitch we're going to put 2 single crochet. So this will be 1, and back down, that would be 2. So remember, the pattern for round 8 is you're going to do 6 with 1 single crochet, and then the next stitch will be 2 single crochet. So keep on working with that pattern around till you get back to your stitch marker, and at the completion of round 8 you need to have your 48 stitches. I'll meet you there. So for the completion of round 8 you have your 48 stitches. Now round 9, take out your stitch marker, and put 1 single crochet into our first stitch. Put your stitch marker back in, and the pattern for round 9 is for the first 7 stitches we're going to put 1 single crochet. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the next stitch we're going to put 2. So that's 1 single crochet, back down into that same stitch, and another 1. So the pattern for round 9 is you're going to put the first 7 stitches, you're going to put 1 single crochet, and the next will be your 2 single crochet. So keep on following that pattern around for round 9, and at the end of round 9 you have your 54 stitches, and I'll meet you there. Keep on working. So for the completion of round 9 you have your 54 stitches. So now round 10, take out your stitch marker. So for that first stitch we're going to put 1 single crochet, and put your stitch marker back in. Now for round 10 we're going to put 1 single crochet into the first 8 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And for the next stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet. 1 and 2. So the pattern for round 10 is for the first 8 stitches, you're going to put 1 single crochet, and then the next, being the 9th stitch, you put 2 single crochet. So at the end of round 10, you have your 60 stitches. So keep on working till you get back to your stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do next. So for the completion of round 10, you have your 60 stitches. Take out your stitch marker. For that first stitch, I'm going to put 1 single crochet. Put your stitch marker back in. And for the pattern for round 11, we're going to put 1 single crochet into the first 9 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Next stitch, we're going to put 2 single crochet. 1, back down into that same stitch, and 2. So the pattern for round 11 is the first 9 stitches, you're going to put 1 single crochet, and the next will be 2 single crochet. And at the end of round 11, you have your 66 stitches. So keep on working till you get back to the stitch marker. I'll show you what to do next. So for the completion of round 11, you have your 66 stitches. Take out your stitch marker. Round 12, put the 1 single crochet and then put your stitch marker back in. So for round 12, what we're going to do, we're going to put 1 single crochet into the first 10 stitches, and then the next we're going to put 2 single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the next we'll put 2 single crochet. 1, back down into that same stitch, and 2 single crochet. So the pattern for round 12 is the first 10 stitches, you put 1 single crochet, and then the next you put the 2 single crochet. So at the end of round 12, you're going to have 72 stitches. So keep on working. I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. So for the completion of round 12, you have your 72 stitches. Take out your stitch marker. I'm going to put 1 single crochet into that first stitch. Put your stitch marker back in. Now for round 13, you're going to put 1 single crochet into the first 11 stitches. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So the next stitch now, we're going to put 2 single crochet. So 1, back down into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up, and that's your 2. So the pattern for round 13 is first 11 stitches, you put 1 single crochet, and then the next stitch you'll put 2 single crochet. So at the end of round 13, you're going to have 78 stitches. I'll meet you there. So the completion of round 13, you have your 78 stitches. Take out your stitch marker. Round 14, put 1 single crochet and then put your stitch marker back in. So for round 14 we're going to do 1 single crochet into the first 12 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then the next stitch, 2 single crochet. So 1, back down into that same stitch, turn over, pull up, and that's your 2. So the pattern for round 14 is 1 single crochet into the first 12 stitches, and then the following stitch you put 2 single crochet. So at the end of round 14 you have your 84 stitches. So keep on working and I'll meet you there. So for the completion of round 14 you have your 84 stitches. Take out your stitch marker. And for round 15 what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 half double crochet into each stitch around. So the half double is you take your yarn, loop over before you go into your stitch, and then you go down into your stitch, yarn over, pull up. So now you have 3 loops of yarn on your hook, and then what you're going to do is yarn over and pull across those 3 loops of yarn you have. Put your stitch marker back in. I'll do a couple with you so you can see what it is. Close it up. So that's 1. So at the finish of round 14 you're supposed to still have your 84 stitches, because we're just putting 1 half double crochet into each of our stitch around. So remember, it's yarn over before you go down into your stitch, go down, yarn over, pull up. You have 3 loops of yarn on your hook, then pull through those 3. Yarn over, down into your stitch, yarn over, pull up, 3 loops of yarn on your hook, yarn over and pull through. Do a couple more with you. Yarn over the hook before you go down into your stitch, and then yarn over, pull up, 3 loops, pull across all 3 at the same time. Yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops of yarn on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 of them. Yarn over before you go into your stitch, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull up, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through. So that's the pattern for round 15. Just keep on doing that around till you get back to your stitch marker. And remember, 84 stitches. For the completion of round 15 you have your 84 stitches. So now for round 16, take out your stitch marker. For that first stitch we're going to do a half double crochet. So remember, yarn over your hook before you go into your stitch, go down, yarn over, pull up, 3 loops on your hook, and yarn over and pull across all 3 of them. Put your stitch marker back in. And now for that same stitch that we put the first half double crochet in, we're going to put another one. So go back down, yarn over, pull up, 3 loops of yarn on your hook, and pull across all 3 of them. And the next stitch, 1 half double crochet. So from now we're going to do all the way around till we have 1 stitch left, and I'll show you what to do next. So just keep on doing just 1 half double crochet till you get to the last stitch before you get back to your stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do next. So now we are at our last stitch in round 16. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put 2 half double crochet into that stitch. So that's 1, and 2. And for round 16, the completion of it, you have your 86 stitches. Now for round 17, we're going to do the same thing that we did for round 16. With the first stitch we have, take out our stitch marker, and in that stitch we're going to put 2 half double crochet. So that's 1. Put your stitch marker back in, and another one into that same stitch. So for round 17, you're going to work all the way till you get back to your last stitch. And in that last stitch, what you're going to do is you're going to put 2 half double crochet into that stitch. And then you will end off with a total of 88 stitches. So it's the same thing we did for round 16 by starting the first stitch with 2 half double crochet, and we end off with 2 half double crochet. Same thing for round 17. Remember, you end off with 88 stitches. So keep on working around, and all the rest of the stitches that you work is just 1 half double crochet. I'll meet you there. So for the completion of round 17, you have your 88 stitches. So for round 18, what we're going to do now is take out our stitch marker, and for that first stitch, we're going to put, to start off with, 3 double crochet. So the double crochet is yarn over your hook before you go down into that stitch, and you pick up a loop. So you have 3 loops of yarn on your hook. Yarn over again one more time. You pull through those 2 first loops of yarn. You have 2 remaining, and to complete it, you yarn over and pull through those 2 remaining loops of yarn. Put your stitch marker back in. That's our first one. So we're going to do 2 more. Yarn over, back down into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through the first 2. To complete it, yarn over, pull through all 2 that's remaining. Another one, yarn over before you go down into your stitch, yarn over, pull up, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2. You have 2 remaining, yarn over, pull through. So you have 3 stitches into that 1 stitch. What we're going to do next is do 2 chains. So the chain is just 1 loop of yarn on your hook, yarn over, and pull up. So that's 1 single, that's a chain, and then next one, 2 chain, and yarn over our hook, and we're going to go back down into that same stitch and put an additional 3 more double crochet. So yarn over, pull up, and then yarn over, pull through. Back down into that same stitch, yarn over, and then pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull up. Back down into that same stitch, yarn over, and then yarn over the first 2, and then pull across the 2. So that's your first lace shell stitch. So now what we're going to do is we're going to skip 5 stitches. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next stitch, we're going to put again 3 double crochet. So yarn over your hook before you go into your stitch, yarn up, 3, yarn over, pull across the first 2, yarn over, pull across to complete it, back down into that same stitch, another double crochet, that's 2, back down into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up across those first 2, and the last 2. So now again we chain 2, 1 and 2, and then we go back down into that same stitch. Remember, you have 3 on your loops on your hook. Pull over the first 2, and then pull across the last two. That's 1, 2, and 3. So that's the pattern we're going to follow for round 18. I'll do one more set with you. Remember, you skip 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over. That's our first double crochet. 2 and 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and then back down into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up, and over, pull through, and we need one more. So that's the design we're going to do for round 18. And when you get to your remaining, the last 4 stitches in your pattern, before you get back to your stitch marker, I'll meet you then. I'll show you what to do next. So keep on working around. So now we're here, because with our pattern that we were following, we were doing the shell stitch and then we skip 5 stitches. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be our next stitch right here. And then you see we have from here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 more stitches before you get to your stitch marker. So that's why I said when you have the 4 more stitches remaining. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a shell stitch right in there, the lace shell stitch, by putting the first 3 double crochet. So that's 1, another 1, back down into that same stitch, so you have 3. Now chain 2, 1, 2, and then back down into that same stitch. You're going to put additional 2 more of the double crochet. Okay, that's 1 we did, 2, 1 more, and 3. So that's where we end off. So now you have 1, 2, 3 stitches remaining. So what we're going to do is just skip those. So for the ending of round 18, you should have 120 stitches. So now to start round 19, take out, you really don't have to take out the stitch marker, because what we're going to do is, but we're going to move it up as we do it. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to put on up here in the chain 2 space, we're going to make the shell lace stitch up there. So you're going to do your double crochet. We're going to put 3 to start off with. That's 1, and that's where I said with the stitch marker where we're going to move it. So we want to keep it in the first stitch of each row. So take it out from there and put it up here, because then you know you started your new row. That's what I meant. Sorry if I confuse you, but anyway, so we're going to put 2 more double crochet into that chain 2 space. So that's 2, back down into that same chain 2 space, and there you have 3 of the double crochet. We're going to chain, so it's the same pattern like basically we did from round 18, but now we don't have to skip the 5 stitches as we did. I'll show you why. And chain 2, 1, 2, and then back down into that same chain 2 space, and we're going to put 3 more of the double crochet. That's 1, 2, and 3. So that's the pattern, how it looks. And this is for round 19. All we're going to do is we're going to put each of the shell lace stitch up into our, or if you want to say the chain 2 space in each of them around. So that's what you're going to be doing. I'll do another one with you. So all of the stitches we make are going to be in the same chain 2 space. Moving forward. Chain 2, back down. I'm going to do 3 more of our double crochet. All right, 1 more. Okay, so that's the pattern we're going to do. So keep on working around again, of course, till you get back to your stitch marker, and then I'll show you what to do next. So for the completion of round 19, you have your 120 stitches. I just wanted to show you how it looks so far. So this is your lace shell stitch. So now for the round 20, we're going to follow the same pattern that we did for round 19. So we're just going to work into our chain 2 space that we did from the previous round. So all our stitches are going to go into our chain 2 space. So it's 3 double crochet, then you chain 2, and another 3 double crochet into the chain 2 space from the previous row. So that's going to be for row 20 all the way up to 28. So that means you're going to be doing it 9 more times, that same pattern, by just doing your shell stitch in the chain 2 space. So keep on working with that. Remember just to move your stitch marker up as you go along. I'll do the first 3 double crochet with you. And again, we're putting it into the from the previous row, the chain 2 space. So remember, take out your stitch marker and we put it in that first stitch so we know where new rows start. And chain 2, 1, 2, and then back down into that same chain 2 space. We're going to put an additional 3 double crochet. Okay, so just keep on following that pattern, and remember, at the end of each of your round you need your 120 stitches. So I'll meet you at the end of round 28. Keep on working. So I just wanted to show you how the bag looks from when we finish round 28. So you have your 120 stitches when we finish the round 28. So now we're going to do round 29. Take out your stitch marker. And for that first stitch we took out our stitch marker from, we're going to put 1 single crochet right there. Put your stitch marker back in. Now this is the pattern we're going to follow for round 29. We're going to tug 2 single crochet together. I'll show you how to do it. Go down into that stitch, yarn over, pull up. Next stitch we're going to go down into it and yarn over and pull up. So we have 3 loops of yarn on our hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. So that's the tug. The chain 2 space that we had from the previous row, we're just going to put 1 single crochet right there, and the next 2 sets of stitches we're going to tug together again. So go down, yarn over, pull up, go down, yarn over, pull up. 3 loops of stitches on your hook, yarn over and pull through. And then you have 2 more stitches. We're just going to put 1 single crochet into it. So that's 1. Next stitch, just a regular single crochet. So that's the pattern we're going to follow for round 29. And when you get to the last 7 stitches, I'll show you what to do next. I'll show you one more time the pattern. So the pattern is, we're going to tug, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull up. You have 3, pull through all 3. We're going to just 1 single crochet into the chain 2 space. We're going to tug the next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull up, next stitch, yarn over, pull up, 3 loops of yarn on your hook, pull through, and the next 2 stitches, just 1 single crochet. So remember, keep on doing that till you get 7 stitches left before you get to your stitch marker, and I'll meet you there and show you what to do next. Okay, so we have our 7 stitches left. This is how it looks like with our 7, because you got 1, 2, and then 2 up here. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to tug. So yarn over, pull up, next stitch, yarn over, pull up, and then yarn over, pull through. The chain 2 space, we yarn over and we pull up. We're doing 1 single crochet. Next 2 stitches we're going to tug together, yarn over, pull up, and the next stitch, yarn over, pull up, and then 3 loops of yarn on our hook. We're going to pull across all 3 of them here, and then the last stitch we're just going to put 1 single crochet right there. And that's it for round 29. So for round 29 you have 75 stitches. So now we're going to start round 30, and for round 30 to 34 you're going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So by the time you finish your round 34 you should have your 75 stitches. So I'll just do a few with you because it's just a regular single crochet. And remember, 75 stitches. So we're going to do it all the way up to row 34 because this is row 30. Remember to put back your stitch marker. So just keep on working around 1 single crochet. And when you get back to your stitch marker for round 34, I'll meet you there. So now we finished round 34. And this is how it came out. Back. All right, so now we're going to switch our hook size. We're going to switch to the US H8, and it's the 5 mm because we're doing the straps now. So for round 35, what we're going to do is put 1 single crochet into each of the first 20 stitches. So put your stitch marker back in. So for the first 20 stitches we're going to put 1 single crochet. So that was 1, 2, 3. So just keep on working and I'll meet you there when you get 20. So now we're going to chain, after we get our 20 stitches, we're going to chain 72. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So keep on doing till you get 72 and I'll meet you there. So we completed our 72 chain. So now we're going to connect it, but we're going to skip 15 of our stitches that from where we left off. So we count here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So the 16th stitch will be here, and we're just going to put one single crochet to hold our bag strap together with our bag. So it's just one single crochet to hold it in place. And then from here we're going to do 22 stitches to meet at our next bag handle. So it's just one single crochet for 22 stitches. So keep on working and I'll meet you there. So we did our 22 single crochet. So now our next bag handle starts. So we're just going to do the same thing by chaining 72. So that's it. So keep on working till you get 72 and I meet you there, show you what to do next. So we did our 72 chains. So now we're going to skip 15 of our stitches. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. In the 16th stitch we're going to just attach with just one single crochet, handle, and pull it through. And then for the remaining stitches we're just going to put one single crochet in there. So your remaining 2 stitches, you have that. So that's our starting of our bag handle and our strap we're going to do. So now for round 36 we're going to take out our stitch marker. We're going to put one single crochet into our first stitch. So for round 36 we're going to do one single crochet into basically all our stitch, but I'll show you when we get to the bag handle what to do. So just keep on working till you reach the bag handle, then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, just one single crochet in each stitch. So we made it to our first strap or bag handle, and we're gonna single crochet up our 72 chains we made. So I go in here at the back part of the first chain, and it's just one single crochet, and then the others I just go in the center, if you call it that. It's just going and making our single crochet in each chain from what we did 72. So keep on working till we get to the other end, and I'll show you what to do next. Now we made it across to the other side of our 72. So what I like to do is put it right here in between where we put that single crochet to actually put the bag strap on. And that's it. And then the following stitch, it's just one single crochet around the work. And the same thing we do for the bag handle that we just did. So just work, put 72 single crochet into your 72 chains, and the remaining stitches till you get to the stitch marker, and that will be the completion of round 36, and I meet you there. We completed row 36. So now for round 37, what we're going to do is do one single crochet into each stitch around. So for round 37, 38, 39, and 40 is just one single crochet into each stitch that we did. So you just go up the bag handle and around. So you're just doing one single crochet, and I meet you at the end of round 40, and then I'll show you what to do next. So keep on working. So we completed round 40, and I just wanted to show you how the bag came out when we finished round 40. So now we're going to finish off our work. So I'm going to give it a nice little tail. Okay, we're going to weave it inside the bag. I like to give it a nice tail so I can weave in as much as I can to make sure it stays. So cut your yarn. And then pull it, and there you go. So now I'm going to take my yarn needle and show you how to weave it in. Okay, so I have my yarn needle and my yarn. So you see where I have our stitch marker? We're going to skip that and we're going to go into the next stitch. If we were making another single crochet, we push our yarn needle through those 2 stitches. When I mean 2 stitches in the sense of the 2 posts of it, that's what I mean. Hopefully I don't confuse you saying that. So now turn it, we could work with it better, and we could finally take out our stitch marker. And what we're going to do now, we're going to go back into the stitch where our yarn is coming from, and we're going to go into the back post of it. So we're doing like another stitch, like an invisible, if you want to say invisible, closing off or weaving off. So that's how it looks. Now we're going to weave it inside the bag because we went through the back post. We want to get as much as we can inside our bag so it doesn't show. See, that's how it looks on the other side, the right side of our bag. Make another stitch, and that's the back. So I'm going to go in a couple times just to weave it in, and you could do it as much as you can, and then like I said, you can make a tail as long as you want to, so you could keep on weaving in. So that's all I'm going to do. So keep on working on it, and I'll be back. Yeah, we finished, completed our bag. So this is how it looks. I just wanted to show you. I think it came out pretty nice. I enjoy working on it, and I hope you did too. So please subscribe so you can keep in touch with my upcoming projects. Once again, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye.